We're back online. So the speed run is starting now. I'm corner pulling, by the way.
Yep.
But yeah, I used to remember that dialogue when you meet the
behind the corner.
Behind the corner, got it. Always forget that.
Which dialogue from KOTOR?
When you meet the Dark Jedi's the first time, when you go to the first planet, whatever, and when they're like, Lord Malek was most displeased that you survived Taris.
My favorite was, did you remember you went in a sand village, sand people village?
Yeah.
And that's my favorite quest that I remember.
First time I played through the game, I didn't know, you could get HK, so I missed that whole thing.
Wow.
So I actually had to kill them because, you know, meet a kid from Sweden trying to play a game in English.
Yeah, I got it.
I could get by, but it was really hard. I didn't even know how to make my stats, so I actually cheesed the last boss by either placing a lot of mines or depending on my alignment, shooting lightning and then running away, or throwing lightsaber and then throwing away. Just repeat.
Did you fall?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm waiting for you.
Because, did you know, in Knights of the Old Republic, if you press exit combat, you will regain force as if you were outside of combat, which is still really slow.
I didn't know that.
So, I used disengage combat, ran while Malek was chasing me, getting my force back bit by bit, then throwing my engaging combat, throwing lightsaber / lightning, and rinse repeats.
Are you talking about the first fight with Malek, with the Bastilla?
No, the last one.
Oh, the one in...
Yeah, Starforge.
Okay.
So, it took hours.
I was... that thing sort of... I was not expecting Jolly Bindo to be dead.
Yeah. But, yeah, when I went back to it, like, it was a couple of years now, when I tried to complete the game 100%, Malek was really easy.
Yeah. But have you seen on YouTube, there's this guy who's done the whole movie with KOTOR, and he's added all sorts of mods that are supposed to improve the graphics a lot now.
Yeah, guys, I might have accurately tried behind us.
Oh, yeah, you have.
Yeah, I was trying to get rid of it because I wanted the load. It's load. I have to get my load.
Ow. Let go.
What's the bonus boss in this one?
The beast.
I guess.
Oh, the beast, yeah.
No, it's not the beast on this one, it's the Sith entity.
Oh, the guy, the door behind.
Oh yes, the beast is
the guy that disappears 3 times in a row or something.
Oh right, that guy.
Yeah.
Are we doing him or?
I hate those bosses who disappear.
We... do we have a stealth player?
No.
Let's see if we can do the...
We can do it, it's... You have to go here, and then over here, and here, and then...
I'm pulling the boss against the wall so we don't have to fall.
I think that was me.
What happened?
Just
Oh.
jump down.
Just come down, they are actually gonna be baited. They'll come over here, and then we're just gonna blast them into oblivion.
Yeah, so we don't have to fight that guy. Oh.
I almost went into the pack down here.
You just had to go there.
Oh, as well.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
You're not dying on my watch. Is that the shield that heals you when you take damage?
No. I only get that level 70, I think. It's a very late game upgrade.
I'm trying to drag the 2 bosses, the mobs that spawn here, to there. But yeah, it's not going to work.
I can get those ads. Bye.
No, I can't push him off my arm on cooldown.
It's really interesting playing Republic after playing exclusively Empire.
Oh.
Yeah, but I've been playing the same classes over there, so it's no different, except everything is a lot more green and nice when it comes to the abilities. Like it's Rejuvenator, Healing Trance, instead of.
I really like the Sorcerer, how it plays out.
Yeah, Sorcerer is the one. Sword Healer is the one I'm playing over there, and my tank is the Shadow, or I don't remember what his name is in Empire.
Assassin.
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 Like
Oh,
something is shooting me, so I had to bubble.
Fucking hell. I'm dead. Yeah, usually you're supposed to take care of the ads first because those ads are really painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized that they somehow came after me.
But the tank has to sort of get the boss away from the bridge.
The Republic fleet is on its way.
Oh, damn it, it actually takes me all the way back here. Oh, well.
Yeah, I was just going to say I can revive you, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking because usually when you kill a boss, it teleports you to the where last boss was, but apparently not with this
We were
one.
fighting a boss.
Yeah, that was
That's
the first
the
boss.
mini boss, I think, not the real boss.
Oh yeah, that might be true if it's a mini boss. Oh well. But are we going to do the bonus or not?
We can. Let's see
Yeah,
if
sure.
Those kill bonus quests, you don't need to do those for the bonus guy, right?
Actually, that is the bonus that we need to do. The other one is actually redundant, but we do it anyway for Shitakikos.
Oh, okay.
there's a trick for next boss, so just... And it's much easier if we do it like that because it's bugged, but if
Yeah,
you want to
just
try
wait.
it the right way...
If you can, wait for me for a bit because I'm still on the way.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But
Alright.
this is where we fight the boss anyways.
Alright, we have to do Jindo Crayon Master and it's probably going to bug out.
No, don't worry, this trick works every time. So we have to clear, and then we come back here, and then I pull the boss here. Corner pull.
You corner pull, we red. Oh, my test Right.
I'm not sure what you were mumbling, but
Nothing.
you can all go back. I can just
Alright,
pull the boss and...
Yeah, sure.
Wait, Alder can pull you.
I've actually never seen this tactic and I've done this one a million of times, it feels like.
Maybe you can use the station's defenses against them.
Emperor Malgus says hello.
Not problem. Sorry. Back here,
Healer.
guys.
Yeah, I know. It's just I'm just thinking if healer should have helped him, but I guess you can survive with defenses. But yeah.
So he just takes a bit, but he'll eventually just spawn there, so just all stay in the same spot. And interrupt, remember. He's just gonna spawn here, basically. At some
Oh, I
point.
see him on his way.
No, you should going. He's gone. He doesn't
Yeah,
see-
here he is.
There he is.
Interrupt. Oh, I don't remember which we should interrupt. Oh, bummer, I'm still wearing my ragdoll plate. Get him!
Good shot.
Yay!
Jindo Cray was among the first to join me. He will become a martyr, and others will flock to continue his fight.
Thanks.
Oh, I thought I disconnected from Discord. And it was just so silent that I thought I was disconnected.
Ah, sorry, he's kind of the silent type.
Ah, is he Finnish?
No, he's not. He's a German.
Yeah. That was why it was so funny when we were doing the last flashpoint with Lador, and every time he said something I was shocked that like, oh my god, there's another person here.
There's
I didn't
somebody
realize.
speaking!
Hello. To be fair, it's a little bit actually more
I'm Batman.
yeah, it would be very painful for you. You thought darkness was your ally. You merely adopted it. I was born in it, molded by it.
I didn't see
any
the light.
until I was a lot older.
Adult. Until I was an adult. And by then it was already blinding.
You guys need to practice on your Darth Bane voice, huh?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, did I say
like-
Darth Bane?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
I actually had a Star Wars quiz, and it was really funny seeing that I knew a lot. And one of the things they were like, now we're going to do a game song quiz, and the first song they had was KOTOR. And I'm
KOTOR?
like, yes.
I know that one.
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna
other
try
one
and
was
push them
Star
out.
Wars. Yeah, the other one was Star Wars Battlefront 2, but the other guy in my team thought it was from the MMO.
I never played that because it's from the Disney era.
I think it was the old Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh, you mean was it like the Age of Empires? No, what was it?
No, Battlefront, so it's like Battlefield but Star Wars. There are 4 of them, and they both are named Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars Battlefront 2, which becomes really hard when you're talking about them.
Oh, I'm not familiar with the game then.
No, those 2 old games are really good, and the online capabilities of the old second game, which is the fan favorite, were enabled again.
Oh,
So, because there was such an outcry when the second Battlefront 2 came out.
Actually, they made it before. EA enabled that before.
Oh, they did?
It came out.
Yeah, that makes more logical sense. But yeah, so it has interesting modes. You can play like hunt modes where you can play as Wompas against rebels on Hoth. And the space battles were legendary.
Oh.
2 ships. But it was real star battles, so you like had 2 ships and you could jump into either boarding fighters, so you can go in and board the other ship, or you use dogfight and trying to destroy the big flagship by destroying it, all of its modules.
Oh, I like those games.
Yeah, so it's like you send in a boarding party while you had some in the air, so you had to. I haven't played a real multiplayer game. I've only played with friends, but it seems really interesting if you get a full lobby.
The games I enjoyed the most like that were there was a Pirate of the Caribbean MMO where you had to use your ship and sort of navigate with the wind and turn your cannons towards the... But there's also a Warhammer game now that's quite good in terms of...
Oh, which Warhammer game?
Gothic War Armada? Something like that?
Oh, yeah. Warfleet Gothic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've never managed to find an online game, but I really like the gameplay.
Yeah, it's really different gameplay. But it's real ship gameplay.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah,
well,
it's based on the board game, like the miniature game Battlefield Gothic. It's really interesting when they take the board game and translate it into a game and it works.
Well, I mean that the whole thing we're playing is basically all the mathematics of RPGs comes from Dungeons and Dragons, right? Chuck a dice, see if you skip, see if you hit.
This isn't really that, but Knights of the Old Republic was that. This, you can clearly see this isn't that. But if you play Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, they are heavily...
Absolutely, yeah, but even still this, I mean, besides the turn-based, you still get all the numbers behind and the dice rolling, you just don't know it's happening.
That's true.
So, I mean, everything is that formula, I think, in the end, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just realized that I've never been inside the blue. When you...
Because this boss just dies so easily, usually.
Yeah,
Recently.
it dies so easily.
He's so outdated in terms of HP that...
Well, that's also something I really think is interesting between this game and WoW, and WoW has done it in a sense now. Is that in this game the dungeons actually scale to your level?
Yeah.
In WoW they are still level locked, but they have some. But they have, but they still have something called time walking when old dungeons and sometimes raids, depending on which one it is, becomes rebalanced to the highest level.
Yeah.
And but those are always limited to like half a month.
That's a pity. I mean, I remember the Halloween event maybe, which brought you all the way back to Scarlet Monastery, was it?
Oh, yeah. That boss is still max level. All event bosses are for max level.
Corner, pull this one, please. Just come behind here.
Yeah. But
so we can...
yeah. It's really interesting seeing that this game does so you can play every single dungeon and still have it at max level without completely stomping it. But at the same time, it's harder to farm it if you have it like this. And I'm going to die.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I used my mass aggro in the wrong moment.
It's the flamethrowers, they really are...
I can't aggro anything.
Somehow I did that.
Yeah, it had 2 stunts, so I used my unlock on the first one and mucked everything up. And I managed not to swear. Is that it?
That's HK now.
Oh,
HK.
HK time.
meat bags.
You're not surprised. That's the sound.
There.
You are going to fire the super laser.
Oh my god, that sounds so good.
Yeah.
You're not going to fire the super laser.
Well, you have it online. I mean, I skipped, but that scene is there.
Yeah, that's because I waited there as well, just to hear it.
My assassination rating remains at 89.9% chance of success.
Okay,
Stand clear, scientist. Assassination protocols engaged.
Good for you.
Advisory. Prepare to die.
Did you know, because I reminded people of this before, in the old canon, HK actually survived up until the original trilogy and beyond?
Wait, because you get him in KOTOR 2?
Yeah, but that's thousands of years before the original trilogy. I mean, you know, Star Wars Episode 4, 5, 6. He survived until then.
Oh, you said he survived all the way. When does he appear in the original trilogy?
You know that because the old MMO Star Wars Galaxies had an raid where he was had like this whole army of HK bots, and he somehow survived until then.
Ah.
And even then, when you beat him, he mails you and says that he survived in another body. So it's like, technically, if you're in the old canon, he's still running around.
So I really like this idea of R2, and I think even here there's a quest line where there's the idea that robots that don't get their memories wiped can become sentient or force sensitive. So would that make HK the most ancient force sensitive droid?
Well, I don't. Even in the old canon, droids could never become force sensitive, but he was certainly the oldest droid.
But people are saying that R2 is force sensitive now.
He's not really force sensitive though.
I know, I agree, but it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a nice thought though. But it's really funny that this character that a lot of people likes just survived all the way.
Yeah. I mean,
of course, it's because it was the first MMO and people like the character. Of course, they put it in.
But that's the thing about Disney. They're just pissing on everything. There, I swore. Well, anyway. It's like
don't say swears.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, but the whole point is like they threw away everything that all the fans did in the last 20 years. It's like a total disrespect of the love people have for this. I don't know.
Yeah, well, at the same time, I understand them because the old expanded universe could really only exist because they said they were not going to do any more movies. But if they wanted to do any more movies like they did now, it would be really limiting.
Well, yeah, but I mean, would you say that...
them.
I mean, apart from Revenge of the Sith, I think I prefer KOTOR to Clone Wars.
Yeah, the Old Republic is my favorite, of course. I'm just saying, I understand why they did it. I don't like it, but I understand it at least.
Well, no, because I mean, if you buy a franchise, you're buying the name for the fame of the name. So what's the point of resetting the toys so you can sell yours? What? So you don't have to pay.
You have to realize one other thing that Ion keeps reminding me whenever I talk about this. The general populace doesn't really care about these nerdy products.
But the products survive in time thanks to the nerds. I mean, because...
Yeah, I know they do, but like when people... when like people that doesn't play games and stuff talk about Star Wars, they're only talking about the movies. They don't think that... Like, they don't even fathom the thought to play the games or read the books. Because it ends at the movies.
But that's why everybody is in world building, but then once you have world building, they want to reset it every time, which doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Like, I understand them, I don't agree with them, but I understand them.
Yeah, I guess so.
But we can take out all our anger on Disney, on Malgus, even though I think Malgus was correct. I actually think wanted to join his empire, but I couldn't because the game said you can't.
Oh, I'm fine with this game all the way to Valkorion.
Yeah, well, it's retarded.
What's
Valkorion?
Oh, you haven't played it?
I haven't played those two expansions because I don't find the motivations to do the story.
I did it as a Star Wars fan. I didn't appreciate it. As a gamer, I did.
Okay.
There's lots of story, and there's like 12 chapters for each expansion. It's fun.
Yeah. I want to do the first just so I can do those star bases that I can see on the... I love achievements, so I basically want to do it because of the achievements. But I really need to find the... Like, I'm going to do it on my Sith Sorcerer, then I'm not going to start over with this guy.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, do it with a character you're affectionate to.
Yeah, like... I haven't played through any other story except the Sith Inquisitor story.
Oh.
And that was...
You need to watch my videos, then.
Well, yeah. That means that I can get all the stories without playing. It's great.
Yeah,
it's like Fluffy Llama but better. Because I get the gameplay.
Yeah, I tried to put the gameplay without the HUD because I'm interested in what happens in between dialogues.
Yeah.
So, but I tried to do it in a cinematic way. Anyways, I put all four Force user classes so they're chronologically fitting together, so you get the whole story how it's supposed to go. Except the Sith warrior, because he's, I mean, in theory you're supposed to free the Emperor before the Jedi Knight kills him, and there's supposed to be a very long time span between these two things. So if you actually want it to work, you'd have to sort of make the Sith warriors story end somewhere before the Jedi Knight Voss story.
Yeah. Oh, which one is your favorite story? Which one do you think is the worst story, by the way?
Well, my favorite character is the Sith warrior female, because she's really funny. She's just dry and witty, and it just comes out as the more well-written. People talk about the others. I've played them, and I don't like the Indiana Jones, this Republic Smuggler. It's
okay.
Go ahead.
I hear a lot of people saying that the operative story is the best story, and like the consular story is the worst. Right, Ion?
I don't
Something
agree.
like that.
Consular or trooper, like trooper story is if you're not a military, like Tom Clancy fan or something like that.
Yeah.
You're probably not gonna enjoy trooper story.
I didn't like the Trooper story. It's too fascist for me. But
yeah, it's very military for me. I like all
exactly. If you don't like military culture, that's not gonna be for you. And the others.
I don't like military stuff that much. I just want to play it just to see it. But
well, I mean, if you haven't played the others, I'm more interested in the Sith lore of this galaxy, and you get a lot more, and I suppose Jedi lore as well. And you get a lot more of that in the Force sensitive players.
But I still tell you, play all the stories yourself and make your own opinions. That's the best way.
I agree, but the point is, I'm trying to do that, and I'm even making videos for everyone. But it's quite, you know, I've done 5 classes now, and doing all of them is I'm having trouble finishing the agent now, and so I mean, there's so many you can actually do.
I'm just going to have to find a motivation to actually... I don't know if I'm going to try to find a motivation to first do all of the classes, or to do Fallen Empire and Knights of the Eternal Throne. Which one should I try and do first? Depends, really.
I would go with, if you want to keep interest in the game, do the most fun thing, which is the new expansions at the moment. And then if you're sort of still invested in the game and want more from it, go into the other classes.
Yeah, you should probably do the expansions at least once, just to see them.
No, the story is fun, man. It's written well. It's just I don't like it in the context of being the continuation of Revan's story.
Oh yeah, they chat. I have done like the only expansions I haven't done the story for is those single player stories, but I don't like Shadow of Revan at all. I think they really.
But apart from that, apart from the fact that it's cheap that they went back and again the Emperor. I mean, I've killed. If you've been the Jedi Knight, you've done this already.
Oh right, you've been the Jedi Knight. You kill the Emperor, and then suddenly he pops back again, and you kill him again.
And then again. So you're like, okay, you know.
Can you just stay dead already?
Exactly. I mean, couldn't you make a new story? Couldn't we have something new? But apart from that, if you get over that, it's actually a good story, and it's lots of detail, and the characters are very well written, and the dialogues are lots of fun. You're very in the center of the story. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's totally playable as a solo player, and it's a lot of fun in that way.
Yeah, like this is an MMO after all, so I don't know why, but I find it really funny. The hard play finding something to do in this game when I'm not doing ops. So maybe I should try to do the story stats filler if I don't know anything to do. Because I never think about I can do that. I just think, okay, I don't have anything to do. Let's just try and do X. But I never and then think it's boring. But I never thought about actually doing the story in this game when I don't know what to do.
Well, it's fun having other people doing stuff, in the sense that if you've played recently an RPG, it feels very lonely. Like it's you and all these NPCs, but it's just you and the computer.
Yeah, even though I love Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that's the RPG I'm playing through right now.
Which one is it?
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's for the Switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles is like one of those. Like it's really popular when it comes to Nintendo RPGs. So it's Xenoblade Chronicles. I got stuck. Xenoblade Chronicles. There's 3 entries: Xenoblade Chronicles, a Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and Xenoblade Chronicles X. X is a spin-off, so it has a different focus than the other 2, but all 3 games are some of my favorite games ever, and some of them, like, I don't really get emotional about games at all, but at least Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has made me have one emotional response. I basically cried a bit at one point in the game already. Which
was the story good?
Game. Oh yeah, I'm not done with 2 yet, but I think the story's pretty good this far. Xenoblade Chronicles X doesn't have that good of a story, but that game is more about exploration. So 1 and 2, a lot about story, and X a lot about exploration. Like you have this whole world that the humanity is crash landed on that you have to try and find your way through. It's really interesting.
That's like the story of a competitor of civilization, Eternal Empire.
Yeah, it's like basically the Xenoblade Chronicles X begins with Earth being destroyed.
Isn't that? It reminds me a lot of Pandora. You remember that movie?
I haven't seen that, but yeah, there's a lot of science fiction stuff that's probably, and the villain is really.
You haven't seen Pandorum?
I haven't really seen a lot of movies.
Dude, that's the best sci-fi movie I've seen in the last 10 years, easily.
He's really bad when it comes to movies. Like basically, when he was over here in Finland, we spent like half the time just watching movies.
I get that.
I hadn't watched. We watched Predator and Alien.
Those are good, man.
Yeah, they were good, but I haven't watched them before.
You've never seen Predator before?
No.
Like the original, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but what generation are you from?
I'm 23 in a couple of days.
Okay.
So, but I grew up with James Bond.
Okay, no, I mean, because I'm almost 40, so...
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Um...
So for me, it's like, you've never watched Predator, it's like, where have you been, man?
Yeah, well,
I'm
notoriously bad when it comes to movies. I used to play games instead.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite movie is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, I've heard about that. I'm not sure about what.
I
remember it. It's the guy who does the villain in Batman vs Superman, right?
Oh yeah, Michael Cera.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I like that guy too.
I mean, he was the only good thing in Superman vs Batman.
Debatable.
Yeah, but I mean, as a villain, he was as Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
he was
that's
awesome.
true. If you just took away the Lex Luthor name from him, he would actually be a pretty good villain.
Yeah, well, he was the son of Luthor. I'm not into the DC universe, so
they
I don't know.
hastily changed that before he was actually Lex Luthor.
Oh.
But they had to change that because, you know, people got really pissy.
Yeah, well, I mean...
He was really bad as a Lex Luthor. Like, he was good in his own role, but not as Lex Luthor.
Exactly. He was good as his own role, but not as Lex Luthor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm a massive Superman fan, and holy shit, did I hate that movie.
You hate it?
Yeah, Batman vs Superman, I hated that movie.
Yeah, pretty much, yes. Apart from the Doomsday battle, which I mean, when I was 14, I bought the comic, so I always wanted to see Doomsday vs Superman.
Like, to me, it always, because my dad and I have, we've collected Superman comics. So we have the finished translation, of course, of Superman comics since early 70s.
Wow.
Yeah, all the way to like 95.
Wow.
Basically the golden age of Superman.
I have the
and
Spider-Man.
The Silver Age even.
And holy shit, did I hate that movie because I'm a massive Superman fan, so it's made it feel like it was crapping over Superman constantly.
Yeah.
I get it.
Anyway.
But the battle with Doomsday I liked, though.
Yeah. But going back, I think I've only cried 4 times during video games, and I've never cried during movies. It was at the end of Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, at the end of Danganronpa Despair Girls, at the end of what's it called, Fire Emblem Awakening, and in the middle of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So if it's in the middle, that means it's really good.
Come here. Okay. Yeah.
Well, but at the same time, it's a JRPG, so it is really long. Like, I don't know how all the Japanese have time to play all of these RPGs.
Well, that's my favorite game is Final Fantasy 3, I think it's for the European market, which is 4 for the Japanese market, and it was on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And these games, when we were kids, the Japanese kids playing at school were all into how many hours of play the game had. And that was a good selling point. So, I mean, if you had 68 hours of game time in it that you could put, that was a lot of world that you could play in. And that's what people wanted.
This even did anything. I don't think this even do anything anymore. Yeah, the box are used.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but that was the thing at the time. I'm not skipping Malgus for political reasons.
Yeah, Malgus we cannot skip. It's good.
Come.
Oh, come on, we've grinded it all the way up to here, so...
Yeah. It's funny, Ion actually calls me a robot because I never show any emotion during basically any game I play.
Well, now you have it on YouTube Live.
Yeah, that's true. Every single one I've cried at. Like me.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean, I think that it's
soon the Republic's
video games are stories, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for that one guy that is either Fire Emblem purist or Ace Attorney purist that said during those 2 games.
You'll find one eventually. You should go to Gamescom.
I've been on the only con I've been on is ESA.
I've never been to a con. Well, I've been to the Comic Cons recently.
Yeah, well, ESA is in Sweden, so it kind of helps.
But you guys have got a strong gamer community.
Our fleet will concentrate their fire on your station and destroy your vision of a new empire.
ESA is the speedrunner convention. If you remember,
speedrunner?
Yeah, if
What's
you remember
that?
Lador, speedrunner, those that try to complete games as fast as they can.
Wow.
So, do you remember Lador talking about that she's in that community? She's has been an organizer for that con.
Wow.
A lot, many times, and I've been there just watching.
Okay, you guys totally need to put in a Hammer Station speedrun.
Well, you know, we could always just match that. Well, here's the thing. I don't know how it is if you try to do it as groups, though.
Show me the strength of your
Do you know Ion?
Ion? What do you mean? Oh, the player we played with before, the girl.
Yeah, no, Ion is here. Ion is another one. The girl we played before is... It's just that I haven't seen any speedrun done by a group. Like, how would that work? If you're on the leaderboards,
it's a playlist.
Myself.
Just go on my playlist and you just put the time and the first group.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because there's
speedruns.
The official speedrun leaderboards. I'm just thinking how it would be if a group came up there.
You need to make rules.
Oh,
consistency rules.
That's actually true. Every single game has its own rules.
So you should. I mean, if I'm hosting it, then I'm the tank. So, and that should give consistency. Or you tell me before if you want me to be a DPS. Or
consistency rules means that there's like certain parameters that like characters have to be certain level. They have certain items because basically the official speedruns. There should be no difference whatsoever between competitors except the skill.
I get that, of course, but the RPG is also the gear, right?
Yeah.
I made a normal playlist, speedruns. So, you know, people who want to do it in a more relaxed way can do that.
True.
And then you can make more severe rules for the...
Yeah, because speedruns can get really competitive, and they are... Some of games they're really fighting for milliseconds.
Oh man, you don't know how many arguments I've had at Hammer Station.
I just think innocently, like, who cares about Hammer Station? Then I remember it's the one that everybody plays.
Yes, exactly.
Like, I remember Hammer Station like 2 months after the game came out. It was super hard then. Because I remember just watching away like 1 second and they died because I didn't heal. It was really interesting healing back then. Everything was hard.
Absolutely.
Maybe I was shit or the game was...
No, the game was harder.
And I also remember that all of the classes, companions was like locked, so Kemval was only a tank, for example.
Yeah. Kemval has become one of my favorite characters in the game.
Yeah, well...
Is it exclusive to this game? Like, did they invent him?
Yeah, they invented this race.
Which is cool. I mean, it's much newer than Wookiees.
Enough games.
Oh, let go!
Oh shit, I have to fight him?
Yeah, interrupt him if you can.
Can I stun you? No, I can't. Okay. I guess I will be punched now.
No, you don't have to kill him anymore by pushing him off, so...
You will join me in death, as will your Republic fleet.
Hashtag Empire did nothing wrong, now it's on the internet. Everything on the internet is true.
Yep. Yay!
Down with the usurper.
And...
Darth Malgus is